Hello, everybody. We are back. Oh, Marcia, you are the first person here, followed shortly after by Barbara and Charlene Piper. It is so good to see you, ladies. So, how have you been? Last week, it was a lot of fun. I want to thank Barbara Smith again for thinking of us doing a Beat-a-Palooza. And this Sunday, I'll show you. I've gotten a little more done on some of those and can't wait to show them to you. So it is so good to see you all. And is this a new name? Hello, Middleton Holness. Holness? I apologize if I don't get your name right, but I will try, and I will keep working because I'm so tickled to see you here. So today, I have been doing a lot of thinking about what kind. Lisa's here, and I've been doing a lot of thinking about, well, what are we going to start doing this year? And I've got a couple ideas. One of the things that we're going to do is the first real project that I thought we would do is look at backgrounds of art quilts. I think backgrounds of art quilts are so important. So we're going to look at some pictures of that. Yes, it's nice to see a new people. Hello, Middleton, I hope I'm saying it right. Feel free to correct me because you're too important for me to mispronounce your name. So we're going to do a couple things. I am excited about Halloween. I found out that my middle child is coming down to spend time with her sister, my oldest daughter here. Hello, Cheryl. You're never late, Cheryl. You're right on time. I just was a touch early. That's about time. Betty Middleton is here. Boy, has she been busy lately. I'm excited that she's here. You watch on the replay. Oh, well, we're glad to see you. And there's good reasons for speaking up. Because if I recognize your name twice, I'll invite you to join our group's IO. And that's just a chance for us to get to know each other a little better, share patterns, photos, share bits of our life. And one day, don't forget, one day we're going to meet up at Missouri Star Quilts and we'll have a get together. So that'll be fun. Hello, Miss Carol is here. Well, Miss Carol, you might like tonight. Because in thinking about how are we going to start our new season of Art Quilt Thursdays, because, you know, I've had a break for a few weeks. So in thinking about this, I thought I would really like to explore art quilts that have unique backgrounds because I love stretching us and getting us to try new things. So I will be showing you that. But also, since my daughter's coming from the Eastern Shore, Maryland, we're going to carve pumpkins tomorrow. So I got looking at pumpkins and sceneries to try to get an idea of what do I want to carve. I haven't carved a pumpkin in years. You're slacking on your blocks. You broke a finger. Oh, sweetie, honey, take your time. The good thing about these blocks is they go together reasonably quickly, and it's easy to catch up. Marie Butler, hello from Panama. I saw a little film clip of the Panama Canal being dug. That was quite an adventure, let me tell you. And hand dug, it was just amazing. But anyway, but I got excited about Halloween. So tonight we're going to try to do a little fun thing. While you're thinking about what kind of image would you like to create with an unusual background, tonight I thought for fun we'll kick off a fun little quilt, just something small that you can do for Halloween. And I feel like between tonight and next Thursday, we'll have it done and be ready for Halloween. So it is so good to see all of you. Let's go right to the pictures because I've got tons of inspiration for you. Okay? So let me turn off this light and hopefully I won't lose my sound. But if I lose my sound, y'all do me a favor and give me a holler. So, like Deb, let me know and I will work on it. All right, making sure my screen's clean because there's a little, it's on the camera, but I don't know what, but there's a little funny thing across my head. All right, let's go look at our inspiration. Now, all right, whoops, come on, Deb. All right, I hope you can still hear me. I hope so, but just let me know. If not, try to let me know in capital letters. If you want to say anything to me, try to do it in capital letters. It helps me identify that someone's trying to get my attention. Okay, this is the Halloween page, but first, let's go look at these ideas of backgrounds. So let's talk a little bit about this because I've noticed these for a while and never taken the time to really, let me try this. I'm going to go back here to picture tools and do a slideshow because that way I can talk and it'll automatically. Look at this, like a brickwork pattern. Whoops, now that went too fast. Hold on, got to go back here. Let's try this again, everybody. All right, maybe I better do them one by one, but the slideshow makes them big. But this is really fascinating. It looks like brick and mortar, and you see it's even offset. So it would be a mosaic style quilt, and we've done a mosaic style, so I would be fascinated to try this sometime. But that is an amazing background that really gives life. Now this tiny little bits of fabric and strips. Look at this one. That's like a rail fence on point. Now this is a drawing, but oh my goodness, does that give it pizzazz. These are little strips of fabric, tiny little bits of no, these are blocks. That's right. These are unusually sized blocks. So is that. Look at those blocks. Light behind the tree. These are nice strips of fabric. Look at these strips. You can really see them clearly. These are tiny little blocks of fabric. Bigger blocks and done kind of watercolor style. Look at these. These are beautiful, soft shapes. Here are diamonds on the side. More strips and different pieces. These look like a wonky kind of rail fence block. Here are nice blocks that change in color from the bottom to the top. And look at all these little pieces going around in a circle. Nice wavy strips. This is incredible. Look at all those pieces of fabric. Here's a Bargello as a background. It reminds you of the Northern Lights. Look at these wavy strips looking like waves. Here are nice blocks behind the birds. This is a storm at sea. And these are interesting little blocks. That is fascinating. Here are strips and wedges. Look at this. It looks like a tile background. Here reminds me of Jody's Starry Night Sky. And then look at these vertical strips, and it even interrupts some of the quilt branches. These are tiny little triangles. Here we go to a mosaic offset. Look at how these strips really give you the feeling of movement. Here we go. We've got a type of block, a square and a square. Look at these wonderful wavy strips. Here is another tile version. And look at this. Look how they captured the light with all of these little bits and strips. Look at this, how it looks like the sky and the movement with this dead tree in the middle. And here are some more blocks as the sky. Look at this. This just really creates movement and wind. I love that. And here are some more mosaic or like a running bond. You know what? Let me do something. This is moving entirely too fast. So let me see if I can somehow correct this. All right, let's see. There should be a way. No, I'm not sure it's going to let me. Let me see. I'm looking to see if I can slow it down. Okay, let's see. I'm not seeing where it's going to let me, but I definitely, I might have to go through it a second time. What I love about slideshow is it makes all of the pictures about equal size. So we'll just start again so that you can have a little chance to see again. But just notice the backgrounds and how they're lighter, darker, depending on the subject. And otherwise that would be a simple tree. I just love the movement in the background. And this is just square and rectangle blocks. These are all equal squares, but I love the lightness around the tree. Here are more strips. These strips you can clearly see, and it's very effective. I love it. These are tiny little mosaic blocks. Here are larger blocks done in watercolor style. These, I would love to know how she pieced those together. That's fascinating. Here we have diamonds, sideways diamonds. More strips and pieces. Strip sets cut and randomly placed. Beautiful squares and small pieces from dark to light. Look at these strips going around and around. Lots of pieces, very effective. Just a few pieces, very effective. This, just bunches of different wispy pieces. A Bargello background, very, very effective. And look at how these curvy pieces denote water. Then you've got a nice squares and rectangles. The storm at sea, while at sea. So that's wonderful. I don't know how they did the center circles in those blocks. I love these hunky pieces that your eye will work with. Look at that. It's in the swamp, but look at that tile. And this looks like a version of the starry sky. Then look at these vertical stripes. You don't often see the vertical ones. These are tiny little triangles. Here we've got more of the running bond, kind of like a subway tile, but in colors. And I love how these strips just show the wind. Such movement. These are wonderful circled blocks. I love the strips in here. And you don't have to blend them perfectly. And then look at this tile effect. And look at the leaves with the squares. But it works. And the color, the light they have trapped with this. Amazing. Look at the stripes in that sky. And the beautiful monkey wrench blocks all in there. More strips again. You can just see the wind. Okay, now, oh, here we go. We've got another running bond up and down vertically. And then all kinds of different shapes behind the giraffes. Then wonderful, tiny, narrow lines of fabric. And we're back to the tile work. Okay, so I'm hoping that gave you some ideas about what you might try for. Now, let me get back to you. I can't see you right now because I'm on a different screen. So let me come right back to you. All right. I'm sorry it went by so fast. You probably would like to look at them more. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put these images up on our group's IO so you can really take time to look through them. Because what I'm going to challenge you to do is to pick out a simple subject, kind of like we did before we took the break. And then I want you to work on coming up with a really unique background. I have seen a lot of ideas lately about backgrounds, and I'm fascinated to try it. You can have, all right, some are blocks cut up and rearranged. Some are slices or strips of fabric sewn together. Some very narrow fabric sewn together. Some are actually blocks. When I say that, I mean pieced blocks like storm at sea or courthouse steps or rail fence on an angle. And it's fascinating. Some look like mosaic tiles. Some give movement like wind and water. Then they can add drama to the subject with their movement and color. I loved where if they had blocks, they would put the light ones around the subject to give it a little glow. So they can they can add drama with their movement, like that one pink tree that was blowing. I mean, that was so effective. Everything, the sky and everything went the same in that same shape pattern as the tree. That was fascinating. They can highlight a single subject and add, but not detract from that subject. I would like to use a really interesting but muted background to put a dancer in front of, or a swimmer, something like that, where you just want to highlight the one. Think of a dancer taking a leap, and the background is muted but interesting. So it doesn't take the scene away from the dancer, but it just enriches it. It just fills it out and holds its own. So that would be really cool. Or like the tree had an interesting background, that the one with the wispy sky, but just the dead tree that at an angle. And that was powerful. So I think they add interest, bring attention to the main subject instead of being distracted by a complicated background. I think they can be creative and add whimsy. And there was one that did the storm at sea. That's funny. I mean, that person had a sense of humor to do storm at sea blocks as part of a huge wave. I love that. So trying to hide little meanings in the work or a little pun, I think that's wonderful. So what I'm going to hope that you will do is come up with your own idea, go online, search images, I'll put these images up on our website to give you some ideas. And I don't want it to be too complicated. I really enjoyed our most recent project because it was pretty simple and easy. And right here before the holidays, let's don't overwhelm ourselves. So I just thought I would tell you, be thinking, and you're going to have to do a drawing of it. You can do the drawing the actual size, or it can be smaller, and I'll show you again how to enlarge it. And all you do to enlarge it is fold the paper. I will show you how to do that. But I'm thinking you need a drawing. And the reason I think you need a drawing is because you're probably going to have to cut pieces out. The only way I know that that woman did all of those tiny little swooshes across her background was to have that in the pattern, cut out the templates, have everything numbered, cut out the fabric for that template, and it fits the number and it goes back into place. So we're going to have to do more of that. Normally what I prefer to do is collage landscape quilting. But this is going to be a touch different because you've got an active, busy background. Or not busy, but active background. The reason you need a drawing also is you've got to figure where the colors go, where the lights and darks go. It's not quite as straightforward as doing collage. Collage is like cutting and pasting. This is going to take a little more thought. I think we have some more people. Linda, Cheryl Lemon, sweetie, I wrote you an email. I've been worried about you and thinking about you, sweetie pie. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. I was worried. So let me see if, got Marie Butler. I want to make sure I don't miss anyone. I'm so glad to see Carol. I'm so happy to see Cheryl Lemon. And let's see, Alberta Powell is here. Charlene Lawson. We have both of our Charlenes here tonight. So that is wonderful. I'm glad to see you. So be kind of thinking, what am I going to do? And it could be as simple. Some people do this. They'll make a 9 patch and they'll cut it into pieces. And then they put it back together in random order. Some people take old blocks they'll never use, cut them up, put them together in random order. If you do more of a mosaic, that's going to take some more planning. And that's why you're going to need a drawing that you can then transfer on to. This is probably going to take a piece of muslin or old scrap plain fabric that you build upon. And it'll probably take some fusible, like a Steam-A-Seam 2, whatever you're happy and comfortable with. And we're not going to do it too big because we want to concentrate on playing with that background and creating something different you've never done before. You know, I like pushing you. I like kind of getting you out of your comfort zone. And that's what I feel like my calling is to do, because we're just having fun. We're just playing. Nobody's going to grade your paper. And I want to we grow as artists by stretching and pulling and trying new things. All right. So come up with your own drawing. Next week, I'll have my own drawing and I'll show you what I'm thinking. I've got to really think on it and think, how can I do an unusual background? Whether knowing me, I probably won't do a block like the Storm at Sea or the Monkey Wrench, but feel free to do that. I keep thinking all that work just for a background, but then I think about all those tiny triangles or all those little mosaic shapes. I mean, all of the little subway tile looks, or the one with the Moroccan kind of tiles with the swamp kind of plants. That was really interesting. And this is where too come up with different kinds of fabric. Some of the fabrics weren't the colors you would think. And this is where think outside the box. Normally when we do landscapes. We're trying to do it very realistic. This is a chance to play. You probably still want to get your lights and darks in some sort of reality, but this is when you can play and be creative, because I think that just letting loose is the way to go with this project. Okay, so I'm probably going to pick something, draw something about that big, because I want to be able to get it done. And sometimes the huge projects really bog us down. And one of these Thursdays, I'd like for us to play around with some Christmas ornaments, some little thing like that. So, we're coming up on the holidays. We don't want to stress ourselves. We want to have fun. All right, so that's what we're going to do next week. I'll have my drawing. I've got to really think it over. I've got to, what I do on whatever my subject is, the background design will be playing right with the subject. So I've got to work that out. So, but then for tonight, just for fun, I want you to be a kid again and get excited about that silly holiday, Halloween. And I mean, it's always been a way for us to pretend to be scared, because, there are a lot of things. If way back in time and you were alone in the pitch black dark in the woods, there were a lot of noises. We now know there were owls and foxes and stuff, but it was scary. And so Halloween was a way to celebrate being afraid. So I want to make this fun, and I want to just play. So let me show you what I've got. And then first I will before I show you what I've drawn, I'm going to show you some examples that I found on the internet. I typed in Halloween images, and boy, I love the internet. I mean, it's like having every library pushed into a tiny laptop just for me. And thank you to all the people that put these wonderful pictures out there for us, because finding inspiration is easy as hitting a key. So, ready? Let's see. Okay, you have an idea. That's wonderful. Also, speaking of ideas, I meant to tell you first thing. If you have ideas of what you would like to do in the upcoming months of our Thursday night art quilt, because this is where we can do whatever we want. Maybe it is piecing like a normal quilt, but in a different way. Art quilting is just where you have permission to just let loose and have fun. You can use any media you want: paints, chalk, fabric, thread, anything, Mod Podge, I mean, whatever, it all goes in art quilting, and that's what's such fun. So if you come up with ideas, I want you to do this. I want you to send me an email at OurTime to quilt, and that's at twc.com. If you send me an email and say, I'd really like to learn to do this, and then I'll put it on our list, because this site is for you. And I want to do things that interest you, and maybe things you've been a little nervous to try, but you'd really like to. So send me an email to that, and I will answer you. I'm pretty good with emails, and that's the best way to reach me, because I tend to forget about, dates and times and all of that. But if you email me, you're right there. I will give you my attention. All right, everybody. So let's go look at some great pictures of Halloween ideas, because I want this to be such fun. We can't go out trick-or-treating. I think they'd call the police on us, but we can do the next best thing. All right, here we go. Let's go back to the photos tonight. Hello! Okay, let's see. before I go anywhere, yeah, Linda McCollum. Oh, my two people that I've had close to my heart this past week, Linda McCollum and Cheryl Lemon. You're both here. I love you two ladies so much, and I have missed you. I've worried about you. So it's so good to see you. It's so, so good. All right, let's go look at some photos. Sorry I got so excited, but those ladies mean everything to me, and I had been worried about them. All right, let's see. Where are the photos? Oops, come on, Deb. I don't know if y'all have a problem, but the older I get, the more I have a problem with my hand shaking. And it's hard to work the mouse. And I'll go through twice to give you an idea. But I just love these. And look at this, it's in purple. How fun would that be? Isn't that cute? Oh, look at this one. I will also put these on our site in a file, but you can type in and look up and find just what you want. Look at that moon looking like a skull. Whoo! Oh, look at that. And yeah, I love because it's got a little turquoise and orange. Whoo! So pretty. This is funny. For some of you who don't want to get too scary, that's cute. And look at the gnarly tree. Don't we love those old Victorian houses, Gothic houses? Look at the beautiful blues in that one. So I'll one more time go through it. This starts it again. I love how that cat's eyes glow. I love this spider. And you don't have to put any letters. I'm not going to put letters. That's too much work. But I just love the scenes. I love the big moons. Oh, I love the silhouette look. Oh, look at that. So, there's all different color backgrounds. You can really have fun with this. That's very scary. I wouldn't make that one. It would scare me. Oh, there's a bat hanging upside down. That is so cute. Oh, I love that. Okay. I think we're almost to the end again. But I will put all of these pictures on our site. And if you don't belong to our site, for this you type in Halloween images. For our background, just type in quilts with an interesting background. Okay, I think we're about done. So I'm hoping I've given you some ideas. Let me get my lamp on. Yay! All right. So I hope I've given you some good ideas for things to do and make it as simple as you wish, because I know that you have plenty of other things to do. So here, you might not be able to see this good. Well, I don't think so, but I'm doing one with a scary tree here and a scary gnarled tree here and a hill with some tombstones and some gothic spiky fencing. Then 3 pumpkins with 2 scary ones and one in the middle who's a little overwhelmed. And then I'm doing a large moon here that's going to have a little bit of a pumpkin-esque looking face, a moon, and then put bats. And over on this tree, I'm going to put a big spider web. And I'm thinking back in this area, I might put a small Gothic house because you can do a Gothic house, just the outline shape, and put little orange windows in it. So I think, oh, Cheryl, I'm going to come see you. I haven't traveled anywhere. We're having problems. One of our cars is not usable, and the other one's running rough. So we have a problem. We have had non-stop breakdowns, and we're trying, I mean, whether it's, I don't mean just with the cars. The cars have normally been pretty good. Well, we lost a refrigerator and a air conditioning system. And I mean, it's like, stop now. It's not funny anymore. So, okay. So anyway, let me see if, oh, there's our Jody. Yay. I was just telling Susan I hadn't seen our Jody, and I hope I hadn't said anything to upset her or anything. Maybe she's just busy at work, or maybe she just got tired of me for a break. She needed a break from me, but I missed our Jody. So, boy, this is wonderful. All my bestest people are here, and I'm happy as I can be. All right. Oh, art quilts are easy. You will be so surprised, Miss Barbara. If you can cut out construction paper and glue it down, you can make an art quilt. And I don't know if Jody saw, but we were looking at quilts with unusual backgrounds, and somebody had done their loose version of a Starry Night. Is it Starry Night or Starry Sky by Vincent van Gogh? So I thought of Jody when I was putting that one on. And you will be able to watch this show again because it just stays on there. And that way you can go back over the shows this way, or you can go to our group's IO and I'll have all the photos there in 2 different. Oh, Miss Jody, I just missed you. And, I finally my computer gets so loaded with stuff, and I finally had to delete some of my matinee movie scary things. And I felt like I was cutting out one of my children. I mean, it was terrible, but I said, Deb, you can't keep all these photos. So anyway, but and if I need a fix, I'll send Jody an email and say, can I see that again? So let me see if you can see it at all this way. But, okay. So here, I don't know how well you can see it, but my 3 pumpkins, and I put a hill here. I used inspirations, but I kind of found things that I wanted to do it my way. So let me do some outline drawings so you can kind of see. So here is my hill that kind of goes behind his head and comes down over here. And then here is one of these scraggly old trees. And they're fun to do, because you don't have to have a biology degree to do a scraggly old tree. So you got a tree here. Now, my moon is going to be right back in here. And I did this first in pencil because I knew I'd mess up if I did it in permanent right from the beginning. So here's my moon. And then I'm going to kind of do, dogs. we had somebody come by to check the new refrigerator today, and I think they're all worried. And they don't like people in the house, so they're still worried. But here, I'm going to kind of do this in the moon, and leave the other craters. But I'm going to make the moon look like it has a pumpkin face. I saw that in one of the ideas. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write the word moon for here to make me remember. Then I have two little bats. And I want to have this done by the end of next week. And so I want to make this pretty straightforward and simple. I'm not going to do something fancy for this one. But I'll probably put in more. And remember, I just saw that wonderful bat that was hanging upside down. So I'm going to kind of do a bat shape hanging from a tree. I have to figure out how I can make its wings. And I'll have to somehow do a good head and do his little feet. That doesn't quite look right, but I'll have to figure out how to make. I've got to go back and look at that other drawing. Okay, here I want some old tombstones that really look weathered and worn. And then I'm going to have these spiked fencing like you would see in the old scary cemeteries. And the thing I like about the spiked fencing is they give a quiet order to this. So I'll make sure I make them spiky. Okay, so then here I'm going to have another tombstone and okay, and another one here. All right, I like doing things in threes. So three tombstones, and then I'll have this fencing here. I haven't decided if they're going to go in front or behind, probably behind. And okay, I want them to look a little menacing, so I've got to have some good spikes on top of them. Like if you're not careful, they're going to get you. Don't sneak over these. Okay. Because I'm like a little kid. I enjoy holidays and all right, so then my pumpkins are here and they're going to be in the dark shadows. So the only thing that really shows up about them is where the light part comes through their eyes. And this poor guy, he's got a mouth that's been stitched shut. Poor fellow. And then he has a stem here. And these two on around him are just a little bit smaller. And this one's got a scary face. And I saw it was so cute. On the drawing, it had a bat-shaped mouth. And I thought that was cute. All right, and then this one comes right over here. He's a little bit behind this one. And this is going to be very dark with maybe some little orange in the moon. But you don't have to do much with detail, which that I like. This is supposed to be fun and simple. And this one has a big snaggletooth sneer. It's supposed to look scary. I don't know if I'll get it to look scary enough. All right. So then over here, now I'm thinking about over here maybe doing a Gothic little house. And here is the other. And just make your hand feel like you've had too much coffee. It's easy to do craggy trees. Okay. Crag, crag, crag. Okay. And then another branch down this way. And then here, I'm going to want to do a spider's web. I'm sure this spider is not happy with my version of her wonderful web. But sorry, I'm doing it in a hurry. And then I'm going to put her hanging down and put a great big body on her and a bunch of scary legs. All right, so, and I'll probably have some more branches coming out looking very spooky. I like when the branches kind of end up coming to like tapered points because then it looks like scary hands. So anyway, all right, here we go with this. And let me show you the fabric I've chosen. And I like some of these colors. This might be my moon right here. That might be pretty cool. But I've got all kinds of colors to put in the eyes, the candle colors. Even something like this gives me options. And then look at this cool thing. That's neat. I'd like to use that somewhere. And then a very pale, pale yellow to get the brightest of the light. This can be in part of my background. I'm not sure. I pulled black. I pulled red just in case. Here's some more orange, a very pale yellow. I thought this looked pretty cool for the trees. And then this just kind of looks like a scary sky to me. Here's good orange colors, some browns. You see, now you see why I have a hard time keeping my room clean. Because when I get ready to do a project, I pull every color that might even work. Not even sure if it really will, but it just may. And then look at this. This is that's a cool one. Then I thought, ooh, look, this is a Jenny Beyer. But I think that looks a little spooky for the night sky. And then here's an ombre. So I've got all kinds of colors to work with the moon. And then for black, I thought this was kind of cool. So, yay. All right. So those are my colors. I've got my steamosine because I'm going to draw, and then I'll draw the shapes, transfer the shapes onto here. Let me move this so I can show you how I'm going to do this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these shapes and draw them onto the steamosine. Okay. Now remember, you have to do these opposite. So really what you should do is draw it from the back so it'll already be turned over. And you can do a light box. And I have a little light box, or use a window on a bright day. And all of these fences, this is going to be done with thread painting, because there's no way that I'm going to cut out tiny little thin, and they need to be thin. So the spider web will be done with thread painting. The thin little wispy tree branches, thread painting. Some of the faces, edging with thread painting. But I take this and you can see the lines through it, especially if you use something like a light box. Then once I get the shape, I will pick out my fabric and decide what fabric and press it onto the fabric, then put it in place and then add on top of it. So almost everything is going to be traced and cut out here. And I do think that this might be my background fabric because to me, as soon as I saw it in the closet, I thought, oh, let me see. I thought that has some spooky look to it. You know, it's so dark and it has movement and I want that to help be scary. So I'm just going to have fun and play. And let's say you don't feel like you can draw this. Okay, then what should you do? I would find an image you like, see if you can print it out. If you print it out, then try to carefully draw using what you've printed out or make it the sheet of the paper that you print out. But you know that there is a really neat thing to do. I didn't bring a full sheet of paper, and that's what I needed to show you. But what I like to do is take a plain piece of copy paper, and I like to fold it in half, fold it in half, fold it in half, fold it in half to a 16 pressed squares. You can press it with your finger or the iron. 16 squares. Then I would take whatever, like pretend this is what you printed out of the printer. And then I would fold this in 16 squares. Okay? So I fold it first this way, then I fold it this way. Okay? Then I fold it this way. Let me get it. Okay, and then one more fold. Okay. Now, let me show you why this works. Because what you're going to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. What you're going to do is you're going to have your piece of paper already folded in 16 squares. Folded, not cut, just folded. And let me show you this really quickly. I'm going to pretend, okay, to get 16, you would draw here, here. When you fold, this is what you'll have, and you've got to have 1, 2. Okay, now if you fold it carefully, they'll be even. Mine aren't even, but you need it even. And then what you do is like you look at this little block right here, the second one in, and what you see, let me see if I have some scraps I can kind of block out. All you do is on this second block, draw what you see right here. So right here, I see a line coming out about halfway, going slightly up. I see something right here like this with 2 lines. Then here I see this little part of the nose, and I see the whole pumpkin fits in this square. So I come in here. Okay, and then here I copy the bat mouth like this. So I just take what is in this square, I transfer it to there. Then I come up here and I take just what's in this square and I transfer it here. So it's the pumpkin like this and come down. And the reason this is so wonderful, instead of trying to get the whole thing right, if you do this method, you can easily, just what's in that block, draw the same thing on your other piece of paper. And that's a good way, a technique of how to enlarge something or to shrink something. Both ways. This fold and 16 square method is the best way. You could take this picture and you could make a 5 foot by 5 foot copy of whatever's on here by using this method. So it's really, really a helpful way. So I want to see if you have any questions. Well, actually, I started college and started an art course and got as far as color. And then, unfortunately, I didn't finish college. I thought I was smart, so I got married and started having children. And I wish I'd stayed in college. I mean, I love my kids, but I could have had them a little later and gotten a degree. So anyway, but my daughter, I made sure my daughter's finished college because I said, you never know what life has in store for you. And if you can take care of yourself, whether it's a trade or a degree, get it and be able to always take care of yourself. And sadly, I was to find that out, but I've done fine. Get a good lawyer, ladies. Anyway, that's another story for another day. But anyway, but my daughter taught it. She learned it in her art class. And I was so glad she taught me that because it makes it so much easier to, you find something, you go, oh, I want to reproduce that. And you can do it very accurately. So, okay, guys, I hope that you're on board with the fun that we're going to have. This Halloween is this week and next week. And hopefully I'll just have a few little thread paintings to do on this tomorrow because I'm keeping it relatively small. But be thinking about what you want to do with your unusual background. And if you came in later and you didn't see all of the inspiration photos, I will put them on the website, but also you can just go back to the early part and watch this because I really want to try to create interesting, moving backgrounds. And I have been fascinated with that. So that's what we're going to start out. I'll have my drawing by next week because I want to be able to show you what is interesting me, what I would like to learn. And, you can teach yourself. If you have the will, you can do it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to find out how do we make, whether it's a pieced background, whether it's a collage background, whether it's a tile-looking type background, we can do it. All right, I think that is about it from me today. And I had so much fun last week doing the Beadapalooza. And now that I'm back, I have a retreat coming up next month sometime. So I might miss one Thursday, but I'll try not to leave you hanging much, I promise. So anyway, I'm excited. I want to play with this Halloween. I want to keep it simple and fun and easy and just have some fun. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to work on I'm going to try to keep it pretty simple. I'm not going to add a bunch of stuff to it. So often I throw all the dishes into a project. But let's see. Hi, Mary. It's okay. You don't have to worry. This show, you can watch it so many times you'll get sick about it. Laura, it is so good to see you, sweetheart. And thank you for reminding them to do thumbs up. Because I'd like to have people say, they liked it. Maybe I'll like it. But anyway, be thinking about what vision do you have for your unusual? And some of you that came in later, you might not understand what I'm saying about unusual background. But if you go back and look at some of the images, oh my gosh, they're fascinating. So that'll give you an idea. And you don't have to make it very big. Just start get sketching or doing the transfer method to drawing what you would like to create. Okay? Yeah, I will be here Sunday. And everybody have a good end of the week. Tomorrow, I am going to be carving pumpkins with both my daughters because my daughter from the Eastern Shore of Maryland will be visiting, and I can't wait. So I am very excited. And I think I need to go make some pumpkin spice cookies. So I think that's what I need to do now. Okay, let me make sure. Anyone have any questions? Thank you so much. I'm so glad to see my Linda McCollum. So glad to see you. So glad to see my Cheryl Lemon. So glad to see my Jody. And every one of you, Mary, Barbara, Carol. I mean, oh my goodness, I'm through. Cheryl, so much fun. So take good care of yourself. I've got to decide. I'm going to get my Dremel out. Do I carve a pumpkin or do I paint it so it lasts longer? I don't know. All right, take good care of yourself, okay? And feel free to write me at my email, and I will send you pictures of stuff. Send me your ideas of what you would like to do to create with this new season of our Art Quilt Thursdays. Thank you, dear ladies. You are the wind beneath my wings. So thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye, Laura. You're a doll baby. Have a good weekend. All right. Somewhere around here is my mouse because I can't leave without my mouse. All right. Take care. Bye, Miss Mary. You're such a sweetheart. Bye-bye. See you next Thursday and this Sunday. Bye-bye. Have a ghoulish weekend.